From the NFL Hall of Fame to the Hollywood Walk of Fame and beyond, Michael Strahan. Michael Strahan didn't feel anxious about going to space. He wasn't anxious to take the field in the most watched competition of the year. Being live in front of millions every morning doesn't overwhelm him. A star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, however, what a terrible thought. Of all the things in the world, he admits, I'm so scared about this. He refers to the star he will receive on January 23rd. Knowing where I started and what this all means to me, it's beyond even my grasp. It's overwhelming. He started playing football later than most NFL players. He didn't start until his senior year of high school. After receiving his diploma, he entered the NFL and signed with the New York Giants, where he played for the remainder of his 15-year career. I had the impression that playing football was the start and the conclusion of a career. It was the chance to start a life, he claims. I never imagined doing what I'm doing now, but I always assumed there would be a little bit more after football, she said. I had no idea it would be this much more. This is much more than I had ever imagined. In 2008, the Giants overcame the previously unbeaten New England Patriots to win Super Bowl 42. The 17-14 victory was Strahan's last game before his retirement, which he announced in June of that year, leaving with the most sacks in a single season in the NFL. In 2014, he was admitted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Over the years, Strahan has donned a variety of caps and helmets. He joined the Fox NFL Sunday pregame show after leaving the NFL. He substituted for Regis Philbin on Live, with Regis and Kelly 2 years later while he was absent. He made 20 guest appearances before joining the show permanently in 2012, and being there for 4 years. He departed in 2016 to work for Good Morning America, where he is currently. He still maintains his modesty. He admits, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to accomplish, what I would be successful at, or what my skill set actually worked for. Constance Schwartz-Morini, his business partner and the co-founder of SMAC Entertainment, called him following his first stint standing in for Philbin. He remembers her saying, "This is what you're going to do. What you're destined to do." She recalls the same thing, stating, "Buckle up, if you do this right, you're going to blast off like a rocket ship." From one of the live producers, if you consider that he actually found himself on a rocket ship, I'd say he did a very excellent job. We'll get to that, though. He is surrounded by encouragement at Good Morning America. The managers there claim that this is an area in which we believe you can really flourish. I simply wasn't able to see it for myself. I'm happy that I've always been surrounded by people who have had a vision for me to accomplish more than I thought I could, he says. That was my father playing football. Constance, my business partner, my Fox family, and my ABC family all pushed me harder than I would push myself in the TV industry. According to Simone Swink, executive producer of GMA, Strahan's talents are on full display each morning as a thoughtful and enthusiastic co-captain of our broadcast with Robin Roberts and George Stephanopoulos. Michael is a natural storyteller and versatile journalist, having gone on expeditions with scientists to track polar bears in Canada as part of our coverage of the climate issue, or speaking with Billy McFarland of the Fire Festival in his first televised interview since being released from prison. It all came down to collaboration for Strahan to become a writer, just like it did for him to become a defensive end on the Giants. He asserts, I suppose I'm just a product of being with the right people at the right time and who have the right objectives. If you surround yourself with that kind of environment, it just opens up more opportunities for you. It doesn't guarantee success, but it does improve your chances. For Strahan, Schwartz-Morini has been one of those persons for more than 10 years. They first connected when she was employed by the NFL's marketing division, and he was a player for the Giants. Michael and I participated in many events together, and he soon became my go-to. Even back then, Michael had a special spark. He was always willing to do whatever was asked of him, whether it was a feature on the NFL Country and NFL Jam CD series or aiding in the revitalization of the NFL Lineman Challenge, a made-for-TV skills competition show featuring the league's top linemen. She says, Michael's work ethic was unmatched at all times. As an illustration, when working on the NFL Lineman Challenge, Michael wanted to contribute more and requested if he could watch the overnight edit, which is not something that players often want to take part in. He wanted to understand the other side of the industry. Strahan and Schwartz-Morini stayed friends when she left the NFL in 2001 to work as a talent management. 7 years later, when he quit the league, she offered to manage him. I still clearly recall his reply, "You manage Snoop Dogg, and I'm not anywhere as big as Snoop," to my question. "You're not now, but you will be," I said in response, she says. A year as his manager was how our working relationship started. They would start working side by side in 12 years. The talent management, business incubation, and production company, SMAC Entertainment, launched in 2011, already has 17 clients. However, it has taken time to get there. When the organization first began, it focused more on talent management and production, working primarily with former athletes who work in the media. Many of the things I was doing for myself at the time were managed by it, he claims. From then, it just kind of evolved into something much bigger than what we expected, and we're really grateful for that. The statement continued. The crew has grown significantly in size, and the represented firms have changed. In addition to representing clients' clothing companies, skincare businesses, including Strahan's own line, and in the case of Snoop Dogg, a pet apparel line, SMAC also works with significant talent, like Nicki and Brie Bella, Troy Aikman, Deion Sanders, and Tony Gonzalez. We've evolved into a company incubator and can now develop an idea and see it through to completion. We've always been quite proud of it. To accomplish such tasks, we don't need to leave our organization, he claims. According to Strahan, the production side has exceeded a lot of our expectations. The $100,000 Pyramid podcast, which Strahan has been hosting since 2016, the upcoming HBO documentary BS High, as well as other projects are all produced by SMAC. It surprised me greatly how much I enjoy business, adds Strahan. And I believe that I can keep doing those things even if no one wants to see my face on television. Blue Origin's Space Rangers, a forthcoming animated space adventure series that SMAC is producing with Genius Brands and Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin, is one of its most recent endeavors. Strahan, who successfully performed a 10-minute space voyage in 2021 on a Blue Origin NS-19, will make an appearance. Not always a space enthusiast, Strahan. As a child, he enjoyed watching spacecraft launch on television, especially when professors would pause courses to allow students to do so. However, he didn't become captivated of space travel until he saw the Blue Origin's maiden launch alongside Bezos and his brother, Mark. He claims, I'd never seen something that magnificent in my life. It was comparable to Iron Man. I had the impression that Robert Downey Jr. He then spoke with Mark and Jeff and understood right away that he wanted to be a part of it. I'm a risk-averse person, so it absolutely transformed my perspective. I lead a happy life. He states, I'm not wanting to lose it. A couple of months later, I received a dinner invitation in New York, so I told Mark and Jeff about it. I was just considering how I would never do that because I don't intentionally try to have a weird life. But after seeing what they accomplished and their joyous, euphoric expression, I'll actually do it. I received a call a few days later asking me to perform the task. It was the most incredible activity I've ever engaged in outside of athletics. It absolutely alters how you see things. I merely want other individuals to have that experience. So, if following Jeff leads to developing a program that can pique people's or kids' interest in that experience, I'm all for it. Strive to live and work by the two maxims when, not if, and hustle like you're broke. For the amount of work he undertakes, both are very essential. The company's mottos, according to Schwartz Marini, are the fundamental mindset to our success. He always gives it his all, whether it's on camera or not. To improve those around us is a typical objective in life. He gets up at 5 in the morning on a typical week and is in the Good Morning America makeup chair by 6. He keeps up with the news so that he is always informed when he is not on the broadcast. He takes off for California right after Friday's performance to enjoy his one day free. On Saturdays, he practices golf with his friends and gets ready for Sunday's football game. When asked what he still wants to accomplish, he replies, have a lower handicap. When that time arrives, he travels to the Los Angeles studio to begin his longest day of the week, which can sometimes go up to 11 or 12 hours and start at 5 a.m. after the performance. He boards a plane for New York to begin again. The schedule was a little bit more hectic in 2022 because he performed a GMA segment in Manitoba, Canada, followed immediately by a live broadcast of Fox NFL Sunday at the Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. I spent a week up there with the Polar Bears and then, on either Thursday or Friday, I went back to New York. I boarded a 14-hour journey to Qatar a few hours later. Less than a 24-hour period was spent there filming. He continues, I would have given up this whole thing years ago if I couldn't sleep on aircraft, and then got on another 14-hour flight back to New York. Seriously, if Strahan didn't truly love it, he wouldn't do any of this. I don't moan about it because I enjoy doing it. In fact, I do. I truly do. The news keeps me so informed, which is something I never imagined I would want to do. I'm really curious about everything, he declares. I'm reading and seeing things I never would have enjoyed to read in the past. My curiosity in the globe is fully well-rounded thanks to GMA. Fox NFL Sunday keeps me in contact with my idiot football friends. Every weekend, we have such a good time laughing that it feels like hanging out with the guys. Although Strahan may think it's just a fun day, executive producer Bill Richards says he's also a significant component of the success of the show. Michael's ability to connect with so many various types of viewers is a fantastic asset for a show whose major purpose is to inform, and amuse the widest diversity of NFL fans. Strahan believes that staying occupied requires discipline. He acknowledges that his schedule forces him to turn down numerous possibilities, but he understands it's worthwhile. I just have to be able to say no and recognize that something can sound amazing or entertaining, but it would interfere with how well I do my job. So I just have to say no to a lot of stuff, he explains. I kind of got that out of my system when I was younger, so that's a good thing, so I don't miss it. One thing remains constant throughout all. He has grounded Strahan. He has a large following that dates back many years. He still calls his mother to say goodnight.